Hello and welcome to this video. Thank you for joining me. I'm Carl Pereira from more-selfesteem.com and today's video I'd like to talk about something that I actually discussed with my subscribers. I do actually have quite a big subscribers list that I've been running for many years, and with them I've discussed this week my most admired person. So that really what I'm talking about here is, have you ever thought about who inspires you? Now this could be a person that's dead or alive, and of course from history there are endless choices of people. A few obvious ones of course spring to mind, but you may have somebody that's not quite so obvious. It may even be a person alive. Who actually inspires you? I think it's very, very important to have an example, somebody who embodies your values and somebody who maybe has achieved something which you really admire. This will really put you on a path to not exactly emulating them, but a kind of a model that you can have in mind when you're trying to set your own path in life. You should never try to copy other people, of course. You can emulate, and be inspired by somebody else's example. Now, of course, all this depends on your own preferences. And the number one thing, I think, when you're choosing somebody, an example, somebody to inspire you, is what kind of values do you have? So I'm going to just ask you a few kind of questions. Do you have somebody in mind who would be your inspiration? If you do, probably that person shares your values. So I'd like to ask you first of all, what are your values? Honesty, directness. Do you like a person who's helping others, devoting their life to others? What are your values in life? It's very, very important for you to know what they are, because once you know what your values are, you can try to bring them more and more into your work and into your personal life, and you're going to be much, much happier as a result of that. Let me tell you first of all that I thought about this question as well, and the person that inspires me, the person that I chose really, was Leonardo da Vinci. Now, why did I choose Leonardo da Vinci? Well, his values, he was a humanist, so he was looking at science, but he was also investigating. He went to extraordinary lengths to understand problems and try to solve them practically. He had a fantastic mind and he devoted himself to lifelong learning. He was self-taught, and he didn't give up. He achieved fantastic things which are still talked about today and still used today. For example, he made sketches. He was the first one really to sketch the womb and the development of babies, and some of his sketches and some of his drawings of the human body are still used in modern medicine today, all these hundreds of years later. So what a fantastic mind. He's credited with inventing things like the helicopter and different, the hovercraft and different things like this. So to me, that is a really inspiring person, somebody that devoted his life to achieving things through his mind, and things that have benefited the whole of humanity since then. An absolute genius, really, but a self-taught genius. To me, that's something really, really inspiring. Why that is useful is because you can take that person, you can say, well, why do I find all that inspiring? And that can tell you a lot about yourself and what you like to achieve in life and what kind of a person you'd like to be. Now, I'd like you right now to think about who would be, if I asked you a question directly now, who would be the person that inspires you most? And I say that person can be dead or alive. I'd really, really like it if you would put the name of the person and why they inspire you very, very quickly. Just a very quick comment down below, and maybe we can get some kind of a discussion down below, because I can think of lots of people I could have chosen. So who is your most inspiring person, and why do you find them inspiring? Okay, so as I said, once you have an inspiring person, that person can kind of push you on to achieve certain things in life. And I'd like to say, how do you actually see yourself? Because your choice will actually reflect how you actually see yourself as well, because you're going to identify with the person that you choose, of course. So how do you actually see yourself? And this is something which is really, really connected with your self-image and your self-esteem. So it's an important thing to think about. Do you see yourself as a kind person, an honest person? Do you see yourself, as a successful person? These are big questions, but questions you should be asking yourself. And how would you like to act? So if at the moment, for example, you're a bit shy, or you're confused and you don't like the way that you react or interact with other people, for example, you want to be more sociable, I don't know, you could take a person who is really good at speaking, public speaking, and you might say, yes, I want to be more like that, I want to act like that. So your inspiring choice of person can actually inspire you to act in a different way, or in a way that you really would like to, but at the moment you're not. And also a mention about achievement. I've talked a lot on other videos about achievement and how that is connected with your self-esteem as well. But your inspiring person can actually help you to achieve. So what has that person achieved, and why do you admire their achievements? These are things that you could think about, and this might drive you on to forming a plan yourself of what you should actually achieve yourself. Okay, so finally I'm going to end this video and ask you to sign up for my weekly inspirational message, which I give every week. I send out every week. Okay, thanks for listening, thanks for joining me. This has been Carl Pereira from more-selfesteem.com. As always, it was a pleasure to have you, and I hope you'll watch some of my other videos, and please click on the sign up link in the description below, and do make a comment. I'd love to hear who is your inspiring person and why. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.